What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Unhinged Live. As usual, I'm your host, Patrick Hennessy, joined tonight by the man, Chef Lonzo, Jay Lonzo, not Sad Boy Lonzo tonight. Oh, wait, pause. Copyright.
You're right. Sorry. We're done.
How we doing, Jalen?
I'm good. Finally, the Yankees win. I feel better today than I did yesterday about the Yankees. I'll just say that.
Bro, solid win.
There's still some issues, but there's at least some positives out of this game.
Yeah, listen, huge improvement from past days, honestly. But let's get into attendance/roll call. We got a lot of names in the chat today. Gonna try to hit everybody, but let's start things out with Dirt Bike Nation. With the $5 dono, appreciate you, my man. You are a legend. Let's go. I just want to say, keep up the good work, boys. Keep up the good work yourself, Dirt Bike Nation. Keep riding those dirt bikes. Let's start things off from the top. We got Amy, Sean Petrucci, sounds like a great guy. Ed King, Jesse Dominguez, Joseph, Jonathan, Ed. We got Glenn, Lori, Daniel, Nikki, Cabazon, Evan. We got Austin Lugo, Ryan, you Elvis, Matt, Steven. Listen, we got a lot of people. Sorry if I miss anybody. I wish I could get everybody. But listen, Jalen, let's get into kind of the box score of today's game. Let me pull it up really quickly. I would say it's, like I said before, a huge improvement from what we've seen in days past. It seems like everybody put up just much better at bats in general, besides a handful of guys, but it's all right. Brett Gardner in the leadoff spot, 1 for 5. Bro, I'm not going to lie. Brett Gardner just looks absolutely lost at the plate.
He does not need to be starting games for the Yankees. I'm not mad that he's on this team. Like we've been saying this whole entire time that since he signed back, he shouldn't be on this. He shouldn't be a starting player on this team. However, I'm still pretty concerned about Clint. I know that we've talked a lot about how, the consistent at-bats might contribute to some of his struggles, but it is a little bit concerning that he hasn't picked it up at all. At least, Aaron Hicks is starting to get on base a little bit more. DJ's starting to get hits here and there. We know Judge has been pretty locked in as far as just getting on base and putting together good at-bats. Even Odor came through today with a couple hits. Gleyber came through. I think he was 3 for 5, had a couple RBIs. So guys are coming through, and I think Clint is still his time. I know that timing takes a little while to come together, but he doesn't look too confident at the plate. So
yeah, and I think it's going to come around eventually. But right now he just looks completely lost. But I do want to bring up Jesus Chavez's $5 dono. Appreciate that. Seriously, my man, you are a legend. What's up, fellas? Thanks for all the good content. Frazier's still garbage, and I'm 100% believer in Dietrich. Send Ford down. Yo, he kind of hurt me a little bit when he said Frazier's still garbage, which I kind of understand at this point. Like, Frazier has been playing like garbage. But, bro, once he said I'm a believer in Dietrich, send Ford down, let's go, bro.
Over Mike Ford, I'm with you. I 100% agree. I don't think that Dietrich should – again, I think Dietrich is not a guy who you would bring up to be a starter. I mean, even over Odor, I could see that as well, even though he had a nice day today. Odor's been pretty trash outside of that Rays game and today. So I mean, I guess Dietrich can't be worse than Ford or Wade, or Odor outside of today. But of course, today Odor, we're building all this steam for Dietrich, and then Odor has a day like this, and now he's going to be in the starting lineup until Voit comes back.
The only positive of Ford being in the lineup batting cleanup, Aaron Judge got 3 walks tonight. Judge does is get on base because all they want to do is pitch to Ford.
He's not going to get any pitches hit. That would be the thing that would why I like Stanton. I like Judge and Stanton back to back and 3-4 because I feel like Stanton doesn't do too well when he gets pitched around. So when you have Big G at 4 and then Luke Voit at 5, and obviously when Voit comes back, you don't know who to pitch to because if you pitch around Judge, then you have to face Stanton. If you pitch around Stanton, you have to face Luke Voit. And over the last year, I know Judge got off to a hot start last year, but over the last year or so, Voit was our best hitter. So in 2020, he was our best hitter. So it's really pick your poison. But when you have Gleyber struggling or Brett Gardner hitting 5th or Aaron Hicks hitting 5th, Stanton's not going to get a lot of pitches to hit. So I think the fact that when Voit comes back, I really do like the Judge and Stanton back-to-back in the 3-4 spots. Barring that he doesn't need a day off from DHing, of course, because it's such a strenuous thing to hit 4 times a day. But, hopefully he can be in there and get more pitches to hit.
Yeah. And one guy I do really want to give a shout out to from the lineup today is Gleyber Torres. Coming off a complete atrocity of last night.
Yeah,
Not even just last night, but last night just in the sense of his base running miscue and just how he showed some major lack of hustle. He
yeah,
just hasn't put up good at bats so far this season. And tonight he showed up 3 for 5 with an RBI. I think maybe this is the beginning of a change for Gleyber, because before this, we saw people ripping him to shreds, like bench him, send him down, do something with Gleyber because something's just not clicking in his head, whether if that's performance-wise or grit-wise, hustle-wise. But I think whatever happened last night when Boone talked to him, clearly something worked, right? Because he came
yeah.
out tonight and kind of showed that, like, he doesn't want to take the punishment from the fan base anymore, right?
Yeah, and I think it's kind of like what we always talk about with this team, which we were hoping like, that Rays game it looked like rock bottom for us. So hopefully that would be the turnaround. I think Gleyber hit his own personal rock bottom last night. He didn't come through in the spots that he really wanted to, and he's been frustrated all season. He hasn't been performing. So I think having a game like last night really pushed him and motivated him coming into tonight. And I think we've seen a lot today. We saw a lot more of the Gleyber that we wanted to have seen. Like, we didn't see Gleyber swinging for 450. I mean, you saw it a look in his first at bat. We were talking about in the chat. Like, that first at bat looked terrible.
Yeah.
Swinging at the ball like above his head. He looked
Oh, I know.
and I think maybe he needed like a little bit of a wake up. Like, listen, you need to just start getting the bat on the ball. Start barreling baseballs up. Some like good things will happen. And I think you saw that today. Once he got that first one out the way, it was just kind of like, okay, I remember how to do this. I know I can just hit the ball solid and find gaps. And good things happen when you do that. And you hit the ball to Josh Naylor. Good things could happen.
Yeah, and listen, as a whole, the lineup has been pretty solid tonight. Well, was pretty solid tonight. But one more guy I want to give a major shout out to, Kyle Higashioka, bro. This dude is like it seems like whenever the Yankees have a backup catcher, they turn into the best backup catcher in baseball. We went from Austin Romine, who we were like, bro, you can't have a better backup catcher than this. Kyle Higashioka is a better backup catcher than Austin Romine. It's bro, look at this dude's OPS. I know it's such a small sample size, but it's ridiculous.
Yeah, I'm a huge Higgy guy. I wasn't a big fan of him, honestly. I wanted Romine back just because I felt like Higashioka was the kind of guy where, like, he was an all or nothing home run swinger. He didn't really look like he had a strong arm behind the plate, which I still don't think he has the strongest arm, but he plays good defense, good enough. Our pitchers love him. He's an excellent pitch framer. And all of a sudden, I guess he's our best power hitter.
It's ridiculous.
Like, how many games has he played against how many home runs he has? I know Judge has the most home runs at 4. Higgy has 3 home runs already, and he's played in probably half the games, if not less.
Bro, if you look at the Yankees home run leaders right now, right, it goes Judge with 4, and then Stanton and Higgy are tied with 3.
Yeah.
Unreal.
I think Gio has 2. I think that's and Gary has 2. I can't even think of who else has more than 1.
Yeah. Also, listen, what I do want to talk about from tonight is the pitching, because it started off very poorly with Domingo Germán. I saw this game going really out of hand really quickly, but he settled in very well after the first inning. He only gave up 2 earned runs over 6 innings. Honestly, I think they mentioned in the broadcast, he's the 3rd Yankee starting pitcher to make it into to pitch 6 innings this year. Him, Colum, and Montgomery, which isn't too surprising of a stat because we knew Tyone and Gleyber weren't going to be pitching that deep into games, especially to start. But shout out to Germán for kind of locking it down after that brutal first when things seriously could have gotten out of hand. And as usual, bro, like, the bullpen has been untouchable. Like, Loaizaga came in solid, Green still unhittable, and Aroldis Chapman. I'm not going to talk about him too much now because we do have a recorded video coming out tomorrow morning about him, but this might be the best Chapman has looked in his entire career. Like, unhittable.
No, and I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that he's becoming more of a pitcher rather than just a guy who throws hard. And I think that also helps his velocity when he knows he doesn't have to try to throw 104 miles an hour. It kind of just eases him into his fastball. He's able to save his strength for when he needs it. Bro, he's throwing 102 miles an hour, 101 miles an hour, and has like an 89 mile an hour splitter. It's not even
filthy.
His slider is disgusting, and he has a little bit of like a 2-seam action on one of his fastballs. He's hitting spots. He's locating. he's way more of a complete pitcher now, and I think that just shows like the maturity of Chapman. I know when he first broke into the league, it was just like a tall lefty and timid, like he was kind of like this lanky guy, and he just threw the ball as hard as he could. And I think now he's realizing everyone throws hard, so I need to do something to separate myself, especially as a closer coming in where guys are going to be sitting fastball. What can I do to separate myself? And he's found it. That splitter is literally unhittable. There's
I know.
Unless he throws it incorrectly, which he hasn't yet, knock on wood, it's literally unhittable. There's no way that you could sit on his fastball and still react in time to hit that splitter. And then on top of that, he has a nasty slider. I just don't see how anyone could hit him. Yeah, and he's an intimidating guy. He's ripped.
Oh, yeah.
He's like 6'6".
He's all tatted up. He's ridiculous.
Yeah.
But listen, this isn't really too surprising to me, just because we saw in spring training when Chapman was first starting to really utilize that splitter because he was working on it all off season. We heard like scattering reports from American League scouts, and they're like, Chapman's actually going to be untouchable because that splitter is one of the nastiest pitches in baseball. And everyone was like, oh, like whatever, it's still Chapman, blows games every year. But no, like they were genuinely correct in saying that this makes Chapman an entirely different pitcher because his whole game plan changes. He doesn't have to rely solely on that fastball. And then when the fastball is not working, like hitters are only expecting slider. Like he has multiple pitches in his repertoire to go to now at any given moment. And I think it changes the game for him, especially in like a postseason scenario. If he was more confident in his splitter last year against the Rays, I think Mike Brosseau goes down easily.
I agree. I think it's not even a conversation. I think same thing with Jose Altuve in 2019, I believe it was. Everyone in the park knew he was throwing a slider there. It wasn't a terrible pitch, but it wasn't it wasn't a crazy pitch where it was like, wow, it was right down the middle. It was a decent pitch. But it was a decent pitch if Jose Altuve wasn't expecting it. And he's a good low ball hitter. So I
wonder why he was expecting it, by the way.
Listen, I'm not gonna speculate, but I do also want to touch on, you mentioned Domingo Germán. I did rip him a little bit.
I think we all did, yeah.
In the pregame, especially today, and I still feel the way I feel about him. But I was impressed today. I think he started off terribly, and we were all kind of like just another Domingo Germán start, and he did settle in nicely. The fact that he did give us 6 innings is important, especially with how much our bullpen has been going early in the season. So I'm glad that he gave us a good start, especially to start a long road trip. This was an important game if the Yankees have any chance of turning it around. And the bullpen can't be pitching 6 innings every night, or even 5 innings every night. So giving us 6 innings was good. I think he started the 7th, right, and just gave up a leadoff hit or something like that.
I think he just finished the 6th and that was it. Okay. I could be wrong though. I don't know. But you know who is a big Domingo Germán guy? Derek of NY Recap. Shout out to you, Derek. I believe before the season started, he kind of predicted him to have a better ERA than Cole. I still don't see that happening, but yeah, no, Derek, like he did redeem himself a little bit tonight. But I think kind of what the key for tonight is that we haven't really talked about yet is the Yankees not bowing down in defeat after being down 3-0. I mean, this is a team all season where if they were down by 1, it felt like they were never going to be able to overcome that hurdle. They were down 3-0 come the first, and we kind of thought it was all over. But surprisingly, they fought back and overcame adversity to kind of take the lead once again. Yeah. So I think that's kind of something huge that we didn't talk about because I guess it shows life, right? It shows life in a lineup that hasn't had life just about all season.
Yeah, no, I'm with you, and I think the thing is, like, in some of these games, the Yankees have come back. Like, it almost seems like every game they're fighting from behind. I don't even remember the last time they took the lead to start a game. But it seems like every game they're down 1-0, 2-0. So they've come back a little bit, but it's been like cheap little hits. They'll have one inning where they score 2 runs, and then the game's tied 2-2 for the entire game, and then some weird, stupid run scores, and that's it. But like, or a game like against the Braves, the 3-1 game where they were down 1-0, and they tied it with Gio's home run, and then they get 2 cheap runs.
No, yeah.
So today was actually, was way more impressive of a comeback, not because it was 3 runs as opposed to 1 or 2, but because it was done with hits, and they strung good at bats together. They looked confident at the plate. They were driving guys in with runners in scoring position. They were capitalizing off of mistakes, all things that good teams do and that the Yankees haven't been doing so far. So today was definitely a good sign.
Yeah, and I do want to touch on one thing that pissed me off today. We remember Clint Frazier's diving catch last night, right? There were so many fans out there on Twitter. They're like, why is Clint Frazier being so overdramatic diving for these baseballs? Like, Brett Gardner would have caught that on the run. Can we address for a second the monstrosity of a catch that Brett Gardner tried to make today? That's almost it was almost identical to a play that Clint Frazier got last night when he dove head first and caught it. Bro, Brett Gardner tried to slide, make his little catch, and the ball pops out of his glove. So I don't want to hear anybody next time Clint Frazier dives for a ball here that Brett Gardner was going to catch it on the run. I think that what the case has become is, yes, Brett Gardner was a very, very good, I wouldn't say very, very good, but he was a good fielder in his heyday, right?
He was very good. He was a Gold Glove finalist.
I don't want to toot his horn too much here. But I think people have to realize, like, the time has come where we give credit to guys like Clint Frazier and Mike Tauchman for being better defenders than Clint Frazier.
Yeah. No, I mean...
Is that not fair?
I always get pissed off whenever Clint Frazier's brought in or Clint Frazier's taken out for Gardy as a defensive replacement for two reasons. One, because Clint Frazier's a better defender than Brett Gardner, no matter who wants to accept that or whatever. And then on top of that, we have one of the best defensive outfielders in baseball who should be our fourth outfielder, who sadly isn't, and Mike Tauchman. He is he's like a top tier defender in baseball. And we bring in Brett Gardner as our defensive replacement. It doesn't make a lot of sense to me. And even if you didn't want to bring in, like, Clint Frazier was a Gold Glove finalist. I know some people think that was a fluke because he was so bad in 2019, and so anything would have made it look better. But he was really good defensively, especially if you look at his metrics. Like, he was a good defender last year. I know maybe it was better in right field than it was in left field. He played more time because Judge was out. Whatever. I don't care about any of that. He's a Gold Glove finalist. He's a better defender than Brett Gardner. He's younger. He's more athletic. He has a way stronger arm. Even that sac fly, or I think it was a base hit. I actually think it was Josh Naylor's hit where he almost threw out Eddie Rosario at home, and it took like a really nice slide from Rosario. That throw was right on the money. It was, I don't think Judge has a strong arm too, but I don't think if Judge was out there, like, it would have definitely been an out. Clint made a great throw. He has a cannon. So I just think when you bring in Brett Gardner for defensive replacement, like, you lose a strong arm, you lose a lot of range. I don't know, man.
It's confusing because I hate for this post game to turn into like a Brett Gardner hate train, but it's like also on the base paths.
No, you don't. You won't.
No, I know. But bro, on the base paths, it's like, why does Brett Gardner not have any base running IQ? Like, even tonight, DJ LeMahieu hit a line drive to the second baseman, a ball that's in front of Gardner. Gardner's watching the ball land right into the second baseman's glove, and he's still just walking towards second base.
No, yeah.
As a veteran base runner, like, shouldn't you know better?
I feel like Brett Gardner's always kind of not been a good base runner. Like, as fast as he is and as much as that's valuable, I just feel like he always makes boneheaded decisions, whether it's like trying to stretch a double into a triple, which we've seen, tagging up on dumb plays, like
I know.
a guy from tagging up from second to third and getting thrown out. I feel like we've just seen that a lot from him over the years, getting doubled off a lot. Like, I don't know.
But like, listen, I'm ragging on Gardner, right? At the same time, like, I think we could talk about Clint and be like, bro, Clint has been really, really, really bad at the plate. I mean, he's looking at balls right down the middle. But at the same time, it's like, obviously we could sit here and just knock on Clint for an hour, how bad his at-bats have been, whatever. But I think, like, as time goes on, he's going to slowly make progress. Bro, just because if he doesn't, the Yankees are in serious trouble. Because like I always say, he has to be their outfielder of the future. He's their left fielder of the future. So if you guys want the Yankees to have a solid out, you don't think so?
I'm not saying I don't think he's the future. I think he should be. I just don't think they're necessarily in trouble if he doesn't get it together. You know why? Because I think Mike Tauchman is a starting caliber left fielder. Yeah. I don't know if that's what the way that the Yankees will go. I'm sure Brett Gardner will get a lot more opportunities, but if Clint Frazier doesn't figure it out and he has to get demoted to the alternate site, that'll obviously not be a good thing at all. And I feel like he should be traded, but I don't know, man. I
Interesting.
feel like Mike Talkman should get that opportunity.
Listen, like we're obviously on the same page as that goes. But did you hear the news that they kind of came out with on the broadcast tonight that Voit is expected to be back in like 2 weeks? I think they said he's supposed to be at the alternate site next week, which is huge. Like, I don't think we can kind of put into words how big the return of Luke Voit is going to be for this team. Not only because of the very poor production they've gotten from the first base position, but also because of that fire that Luke Voit brings to the team, bro. Like, it's going to be unreal.
So he's coming back to the alternate site, or he's going to be running?
No. So apparently he's going to be at the alternate site in a week. And then 2 weeks, like he's probably going to spend a week at the alternate site. So they're expecting him back probably for the Houston series.
Listen, if he can be back that quickly, man, I don't know when. We've been like kind of bookmarking a lot of these games as like the turnaround for the season. I kind of felt like that going into the Rays series. I thought that was going to be a turnaround. I kind of thought maybe playing Atlanta was going to, because Atlanta was slumping.
Yeah.
Maybe this is the start. I don't know. Things are starting to click at the right time. The offense looked a lot better today. If when Voit comes back, the offense just lengthens that much.
Yeah.
That's a really positive sign. I hope that he can come back, and I just feel like I just don't want them to, as much as I don't want them to rush him, right? I don't want him to get re-injured. I really, really don't want them to baby him, because
Same.
Luke Voit is not the kind of guy where he doesn't respond better to like time off and rest. He needs to be in the lineup playing like he did with the plantar fasciitis. Like, he's not Stanton. He's not I don't think any of them do better with being babied, but I really just hope that they don't baby him. That doesn't mean they have to rush him back. It's just like, if you want to give him a day off, let him DH, or give him a day off the day game after a night game, rather than sitting him the day before a day off. Like what
I
do
agree.
right now. Like I feel like they handle that poorly. So hopefully they can bring him along properly.
Yeah, and listen, hear me out. Like, bro, the Astro series is going to be huge.
It's at home.
It's a
right?
massive series. It's like that's going to be the first time we're playing the Astros since the whole sign stealing thing came out.
We can't look as bad as we've looked in that series. Like that's a marquee series.
No, exactly. And I don't want to say it's more important than playing Tampa because Tampa's a division rival, but it's like you really want to make your mark on the Houston Astros because
Not only that, we play the Rays 19 times a year.
No, yeah.
So at least we're 1-5 against the Rays right now, but we play them 13 more times. So we can make up ground there. I know Houston's not in our division. We don't really need to have a winning record against them, but it would feel nice to, kind of get them back for everything that they put us through.
Yeah. Shout out to Ruben Cruz with the $2 dono. Appreciate you, my man. Round of applause to that. Read my Higgy and Chapman comments. Let me scroll up. Let me see if I can find it. Pardon the interruption. Bro, is it all the way up? Ruben, can you just send the comments again? Is that possible? Because I really can't see it in the chat. I see KG Baseball said, hey, Pat, I don't know if you will like this or not, but today I got my jersey, and my number is 11. When I saw that it was 11, I was like, oh, I have to tell Pat. I like how that's kind of a thing now. People just associate me with two players, right? Brett Gardner, Derek Dietrich.
Yeah, no, 100%. I think before Wade went – first of all, I don't want to say this because I feel like it might be a jinx, but how beautiful has it been to not have to worry about Tyler Wade being in Yankees games anymore?
Oh, I know.
No, I know that we've been struggling. I know that we have a bunch of guys that we have to worry about now, like Odor and Ford and Brett Gardner and all all of our main guys struggling. But man, it feels good to not have to see Tyler Wade penciled in there, just knowing that you're going to get zero production out of them.
Bro, it's not even that. It's the fact that now the Yankees know Mike Talkman is a really good base runner. We don't even have to see Tyler Wade terrible base running IQ there anymore.
Yeah, no,
it's beautiful stuff. The GOAT says best game of the season is when Stanton's out of the lineup. Coincidence?
No.
Yeah, I would say it's a coincidence.
Oh,
Bro,
yeah.
Stanton's not a terrible hitter.
Coincidence? It has nothing. There's no. I meant there's no correlation. Like Stan is not our issue.
No,
I know he's not like lighting up the charts right now. But first of all, I think everyone's forgetting he has the most RBIs on the team. He's been hitting the ball hard. He's just kind of running into some bad luck. And Stanton's never been a good he's never started well. He's a slow starter. He'll be fine. He'll pick it up. I love the fact that he's healthy right now. Again, knock on wood. But He's a big part of this lineup. He's going to be in there. I just hope
I agree.
at some. Never mind. I'm not even going to talk more
No,
about.
but my thing is like I could understand why fans get frustrated with him because when Stanton's bad, bro, he's really bad.
Oh yeah, he looks. It's not that even that when he's bad, he's bad. It's just like his bad at bats look terrible. So like,
No, yeah,
he might go 3 for 5 with 2 strikeouts, but the 2 strikeouts look god awful. So like, I understand. He's a great hitter. He's a presence in the lineup even when he's not producing. So I get why fans are sour on him. I know he didn't perform in the 2018 playoffs. I know he was injured most of 2019. I know he was injured most of 2020. So I understand. But you saw what he did in the playoffs last year. That's what he's capable of. I don't think you want to take that out of your lineup.
Yeah. Ruben's comment. So he said Higgy is gold for our pitchers. He also seems to no longer be a backup and more like a late bloomer. Chapman was a starter in Cuba and was told by the Reds to only throw fastballs. Shaking my head. Imagine if they let him, Chapman, be a starter. Didn't they try that? Or am I losing my mind? Wait. I think I could be wrong, but I think they tried making Chapman a starter in spring training one year. And then he got hit in the face, I think.
Yeah, I don't
with like a comeback or something.
I know he got injured. I don't remember what happened, but he got injured.
I could be totally wrong here.
No, I know what you're talking about. I don't know if it was hit in the face, but I know he got injured, and that's why he wasn't a starter. Thank goodness he's not a starter because he's the most. I mean, I'm trying to think if there's a more dominant closer in baseball right now. Just as far as stuff, at least, like I know Trinan has some pretty good stuff. His sinker is nasty, but like Josh Hader, maybe. I feel like Chapman has to be in that like top 5 at least.
No, yeah, but also I think the thing is with Chapman, before he did come up with the splitter, I don't think he had like the repertoire to be a starter. I just don't think it would have worked out.
Yeah, they tried to develop it, like.
No, sure, but I think he's much better suited as a bullpen guy. Could you imagine all the sweat that would come out of Chapman as a starter? The dude would be completely dehydrated by the third inning.
I'm pretty sure they tried to have him develop like a changeup, which any lefty who throws hard, they try to give him a nice changeup.
Yeah,
and he just like couldn't throw it. Like I remember there was clips from spring training where he would be throwing a circle change and the ball would go to like the back net, like it was bad, like he couldn't throw it properly.
Derek Q says Clint Frazier is the king of taking fastballs right to the middle. You know, like I wish I could argue this, but like no, Clint has looked at fastballs right down the middle. It seems like he's kind of looking for walks at this point, and it's kind of, I guess, I don't want to say I'm in his head, but if I were Clint's mind right now, I would say he's doing that because like he's just not comfortable at the plate, right?
No, yeah, he looks, whenever he swings, he looks like he doesn't want to. He looks like it's uncomfortable.
Yeah,
he has no idea what's coming. Which obviously hitting major league pitching is hard regardless, but like, oh man, that's just like, it's sad because he has so much talent, he has so much bat speed. It just feels like every time he goes up there, he's just like anxious, he's overthinking, he's guessing. And you know, that's stuff that usually you see in spring training, like early in spring training.
Yeah.
And I'm so confident he can come out of it. I think he has some time.
Austin Lugo says Red Sox just lost. Let's go. Now here's my thing. It's still April. I have not looked at the standings once. I don't care about the standings until like June.
I'll tell you, I hate to be a spoiler, Pat, but we're last. We are dead last.
Are we actually?
Yeah.
By how much though? Like, all right, like hypothetically, if I want to look at the standings right now, how many games back of first are we?
Take a guess. I'm gonna say 4 or 5.
4.5. Bro, that's not bad at all.
I mean, for how bad we've been, but it's also
no, I know.
Who the Red Sox play today? The Blue Jays again? Blue Jays are good.
Not
the Blue Jays are really.
They lost to them. Oh no, they're currently losing to the Mariners, 3-7 in the 10th.
Oh, okay.
Chat. Also, if anybody wants a Royals update, the Royals are first in the American League Central. Hate to say we told you so, but we kind of told you so.
American League Central is the worst. Is it the worst?
What about the NL Central?
No, it's not the AL Central. The Twins and the Twins and the White Sox are both good clubs, and the Royals are scrappy. I feel like the Royals are like Blue Jays, like Walmart version of the Blue Jays. Like they hit.
That hurts, but sure.
Danny Duffy is like Ryu.
Well, that's kind of a stretch, a little bit.
Danny
of a stretch
Duffy's
there.
good, bro. Danny Duffy is really good.
I wouldn't say he's like Ryu level though.
He might not have the track record, but at least this year he's pretty good. I think.
No, sure, yeah.
He's like 3-0 or 2-1 or something like that with like a sub-1 ERA.
I wanted to bring up a really good point, but I have like the attention span of a goldfish, so I kind of like forgot already. But it was a really good point. Now I'm kind of pissed off.
I'm sure it was.
No, it was Jalen. It was a really good whatever.
Lindor hit a home run, which is important.
That's not what I wanted to bring up, but like sure. Ruben says Higgy needs to start and let Stanton free to be the left fielder. DH Stanton, trade Frazier, and other players for another ace.
I'm not gonna lie, Pat. I'm not off of Frazier completely. I think he still has the caliber. He has all the potential to be a all-star caliber starting outfielder in the major leagues. I'm just really off of his time with the Yankees, not on his part at all. Like, it's all the Yankees.
No, I get it. And
I really just like I want them to trade him so that we can still get value for him. Hopefully, get like a good pitcher. I don't think the Brewers are going to trade Corbin Burns. They'd be pretty stupid too at this point. But just get a good value for him, and let him take off somewhere else. Like, there's no reason to keep putting him in these situations.
You know what's weird? Like, I know for a fact if the Yankees had Corbin Burns, he would not be this good.
No, not at all.
Like, no chance.
But that's the thing. There's guys with the Yankees. It goes one of two ways. You guys are either like amazing with the Yankees and terrible everywhere else, or they're terrible with the Yankees and amazing. Like, look at Gio Urshela. Like, Gio had chances with the Indians. He was a starting third baseman in the 2017 ALDS. I don't think people realize that. Like, he started that series, and he got a chance in Toronto. He was still, he was a good defender, but he was not the hitter he is now. Luke Voit, same thing. Luke Voit had he burst onto the scene in St. Louis, and then didn't really get the chance. Comes to us, and we consider him to be a top 10 first baseman in baseball. Yeah. Who Didi Gregorius, another guy. Like, I don't know. I just feel like it's one of two ways. There's no really middle guy.
No, yeah. But Jalen, I kind of remember the two things I want to talk about.
Here we go.
Let's go. So the first one, okay. This one's really quick, but the Yankees' record now is 7-11. Bro, that looks so much better than 6-12.
I thought you were gonna make like a 7-11 joke.
Oh no, because I was only reminded because Bright said on the bright side we have a 7-11 record, 7-11.
That does look a lot better than
bro.
Six.
It's so weird how numbers work though, right? Because it's like a whole marketing scheme. Like if you go to Walmart or something, they have the prices like $6.37 because in your head it just looks nicer. Yeah. But bro, 7-11 looks so much better than 6-12. It's ridiculous.
We still have to win 5 games in a row to be over 500.
And you just rained on my parade. No,
being honest.
The second thing I want to talk about, since we were kind of on the topic of former Yankees who went elsewhere and did pretty good, bro, Michael Pineda is an absolute dog this year.
Yeah, it's weird. That's very weird. Usually pitchers don't succeed more when they go to
Minnesota of all places.
Yeah, it's weird. I'm happy for him though. I really thought he had a lot. He was kind of like him and Nate Eovaldi are two guys who I loved as Yankees. Like I thought any given day they had no hitter stuff. And especially Eovaldi. Like me and my brother used to watch Eovaldi pitch all the time, and we used to just absolutely admire his splitter. Like it was so disgusting.
No, it was unreal. And bro, he threw I think he threw triple digits, right?
Yeah, no, he did. He was 99, 80, he was at 98 and hit 100 in his last couple innings when he gave it up. But I loved Eovaldi, and I really wish that he stayed healthy and had a little bit more of a chance. I think if he had more of a newer style pitching coach rather than Larry Rothschild, I think he would have taken off.
Bro, he would have flourished with Matt Blake.
Yeah, I agree, and those are kind of guys where I think you put them in pitchers' parks, they would do well. I know Eovaldi's not in a pitcher's park, but I think they would have. Those two guys had the potential that they're showing now. So
yeah,
Eovaldi's kind of like the Red Sox ace, right? Or I know Rodriguez is back, but
bro, Sale hasn't pitched in 3 years.
No, yeah,
when was the last time Chris Sale pitched? 2019?
I'm glad. I'm not happy that he has injuries. Never want to wish injuries on somebody, but how sad is it that they signed him to an extension and he just hasn't pitched since. He pitched horribly in 1 year and then that was it.
Bro, yeah, 20. So I guess he signed the extension after 2018 when they won the World Series, I think. Yeah. And then 2019 he was awful, 4.4 ERA and 25 starts, and then didn't pitch all of 2020. Don't know when he's expected to come back this year, but that's unfortunate for the Red Sox. Sucks to suck, I guess. But Futai,
You're an asshole.
Futai says the real question is, should they keep this lineup? Now, Jalen, we talked about this before the game.
I got this one.
Go for it.
No.
Bro, I'm gonna say yes.
Keep the all right. So Brett
Yes.
Gardner is your leadoff.
No, Brett Gardner third, bro. no,
No.
yeah, you gotta abandon this lineup.
I don't think this should be your lineup. I think there's parts of it that you should keep. I like DJ at the 2-hole. Now, am I saying that
You need another cleanup hitter though? You can't put forward there.
Carlos Stanton? That's
No, yeah, right. Like you would have to.
Yeah, 100%. I think okay. Here's my lineup for tomorrow. I'm gonna go with. Hear me out. Mike Tauchman leading off. Playing left field.
I love Jalen. I love that. All right, keep going. Music to my ears.
Leading off, playing left field. Number 2, DJ at first base.
Okay.
Third, Judge right field.
Okay.
Fourth, Stanton DH. Fifth, Gleyber shortstop. Sixth, if Gio's available, I'll have. Actually, you know what? Gio fifth, third base. Gleyber sixth, shortstop. 7, I'll go with
Gary.
Aaron Hicks.
Oh.
In center. I like him at 7. Actually, you know what? You're right. Gary. I'll go Gary catcher. I'll go
Clint 8. Go Clint 8.
No, I don't. I'm not. Clint's not in this lineup. I'm giving Talkman the day. I'm giving.
It's fine.
I'm giving Gary 7. I'm giving. Who's left? Odor 8, and I'm giving Aaron Hicks 9.
You want to hear my lineup?
Derek Dietrich, Clint Frazier.
You know, I'm not liking the attitude like at all. Like it's so unnecessary. But as you all have said, yeah, leadoff talk, bro. I love the idea of leading off Mike Tauchman. So we are gonna lead off Mike Tauchman.
Okay.
In left field. I guess Clint's getting the day off for me too. Then
if you want to put Clint in the game, I'll put Tauchman in center over Aaron Hicks. But
okay.
How did Hicks do today? Did he have he had a bad game?
I don't think so. He went 1 for 4. I mean,
okay, so. If you want to put Tauchman in over Hicks or Tauchman,
it could go either way.
Yeah,
yeah. All right, so I'm gonna put Tauchman in center field. Hicks is gonna get the day, and then 2 we got DJ, 3 Judge, 4 Stanton, 5 Gio, 6 Gleyber, 7 we're gonna go at second base. We're gonna go with Rougned Odor. I mean, no, I meant Derek Dietrich, bro.
Oh my gosh!
I can't believe I just called Derek Dietrich.
Was wrong.
Oh my god! I'm disgusted in myself, chat. I'm so sorry. The fact that I just said Rougned Odor over Derek Dietrich. Okay, making our way down the lineup. 8 we got Gary Sanchez.
You think they're gonna call up Dietrich and put him in over Odor after the day that Odor had today?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. And then 9. What position am I? Who am I missing?
You have a left fielder. You have a center fielder. You have right fielder. Where did you have DJ at first?
Yeah, I have DJ at first because Dietrich's at second.
I think you have everybody. You put Stan in.
Yeah,
there.
right. Wait, so who's my
catcher? You need a catcher.
Yeah, no, I put Gary 8. No, I put Gary 7. I don't like this game anymore. I'm over it. I can't do this stuff in my head.
If you put Gary 7, then Dietrich would be your 9 hitter because you didn't put Dietrich in the lineup.
Dietrich 9 is cool.
Okay.
I just blew it, bro. I blew it.
Yeah, it's all right.
Tauchman had a nice hit in the hole. The only problem with Tauchman is high velo. Bro, but like you could say the same thing with Brett Gardner. Like Brett Gardner can't touch any pitch over like 93.
Yeah. Tauchman's a good player. I know that like we talked about this in the pregame. I feel like Mike Tauchman was never able to. The reason why I haven't put him over Hicks in center yet is just because I feel like he hasn't proven that he's been like obviously I would take 2019 Mike Tauchman over this current version of Aaron Hicks. But we haven't seen 2019 Mike Tauchman yet.
But we haven't gotten the chance to see him.
That's what I'm saying. So like we've seen that he's a great base runner, he's a great defender, but we haven't seen him get the opportunity to display that he's back to 2019 form at the plate. So I'm not going to be completely sold on it one way or the other until he's given that chance. And that's not his fault. We can't hold that against him. But
listen, hear me out. I don't like. Maybe the Yankees have done this so far this season, but I can't remember. Frazier 9.
They've done it a couple times.
They have, right? Like, I think like that's probably the perfect spot for him right now. But if like I think whoever like those interchangeable outfielders. So if we're talking like Gardner, Hicks, Clint, not Talkman, because I think Talkman should lead off when he's in the lineup. I think those guys should be batting 9. Like I'm tired of seeing like Brett Gardner leading off. I'm tired of seeing them third. Brett Gardner never bats lower than 3rd. Do you realize that?
Yeah. Or like
it's so weird.
If he does, it'll be like 5th. And like in a prime, he'll always come up in a prime spot.
Bro, he came up with bases loaded tonight, I think 3 times.
Yeah. Yep.
I think 3 times Brett Gardner came up with bases loaded as the leadoff hitter.
The guy on 3rd and nobody out.
But then
when Higgy got to 3rd and there was nobody out and he shut out.
And then his only hit tonight was like a single up the middle with no one on base, I think.
Yeah.
Whatever.
And then he got doubled up.
Jack has a really good question. Realistic role for Sevy when he's back. I think this is interesting because, I mean, it's complicated because this whole offseason and spring training, I kind of said, personally, I think what the Yankees should do with Luis Severino when he comes back is a bullpen arm. I think he would be a solid piece in the bullpen. But seeing how awesome the bullpen is right now, I don't know if they're necessarily going to need help. I don't know what the case is going to be by the time Sevy comes back, though. But I think what they're going to be doing for him realistically, he's going to be feeling that 5th-man rotation spot, right?
Yeah, and I think it depends on what the Yankees need at that time, right? So, like, if you want to stretch him out and have him be a guy in the rotation because Gleyber is not really if Gleyber doesn't look good and Taillon, whatever, like things could happen. I'm not going to put into the air what might happen with them. But just say they don't perform the way that you want them to, and you need a 3rd starter, like you need to go Cole, Monty, someone else. I feel like maybe Sevy could fill that role. But if the rotation is pitching well and like Taillon's starting to get built up more, I know Boone said the other day he's built up where he could go over 100, which I don't know why he didn't come back out for the 6 if that was but whatever. If he's built up, then that's great. And if he continues to improve, like Gleyber and Taillon both look really good in their past 2 starts. So, listen, it really just depends on what the Yankees need. The thing that I could see them using Severino as is an opener. I hope that that's not the case. You know how I feel about the whole opener nonsense. I don't think it makes sense, especially for the Yankees when you have a bunch of different people who can start games. But I think he could be that guy where you just kind of ask him to get through the order once, and then you bring in like a Michael King or Davey, like one of those types of things. They might just pair him up. But yeah, we'll see.
Let me ask you a question. Do you think Sunday is going to be the season debut for Davey Garcia?
No, I think Taillon's going to start.
No, they said apparently that I'm trying to find the exact quote, but apparently the team's going for a 6th starter Sunday, Monday, or Tuesday. So I'm assuming Sunday's going to be the day. I don't know. Like Devi is in Cleveland because he's on the taxi squad. So
yeah, I saw that. I mean, it'll be him or Michael King. I hope it's Devi.
Bro, everyone pronounces it a different way. I'm so sick of it. Like, I'm just gonna start calling him D Garcia, whatever.
D Garcia.
So Jalen, what are we gonna do tonight? Or are we gonna cheers, or is that just a pregame thing?
Pat, we did a cheers, and this is our best game all season.
I know. I think we have to. That's like an every night thing now.
It wasn't our best game all season. Our best game all season was against the Orioles.
No. I think we came back from a 3-0 deficit early. I think this was the best win of the season.
It was our best win, but I don't think it's the best that the team has looked. It's arguable. It was against the Orioles. I don't know. This is against a better team.
Listen,
either way the cheers worked. So
no, yeah, I still say we have to cheers. Let me uncap my bottle. Is that a thing? Uncapping?
Nope.
Ready? 1, 2, 3. Cheers. Let's go. You really went into the camera with that one. Shout out to everybody in the chat. We will be live for the pregame tomorrow. What time does the game start tomorrow? Game starts at 7:10 tomorrow. Bro, all these...
Wait, is tomorrow Cole versus Bieber, or is that Saturday?
No, it's Saturday.
Okay.
That's Saturday. Yeah.
Tomorrow.
It's a good question. Jalen, you got the good questions tonight.
Making sure everyone's on point.
Tomorrow, it says TBD for both teams.
Well, that's unfortunate.
That's weird. Someone in chat, tell us who's pitching tomorrow. Oh, Montgomery's pitching tomorrow.
Okay, good.
Okay. I don't know who's pitching for Cleveland, though. Chat, I will see you guys tomorrow for the pregame at 6 o'clock because the game does start at 7. Recorded video on the channel coming up tomorrow at 12 about Aroldis Chapman, kind of how untouchable he's looked so far this season. And you guys know the deal. Like, comment, subscribe, turn on post notifications. We're going live before and after every Yankees game this season. Listen, pulled out a great win tonight, 6-3. Hope you guys enjoyed it. We will see you tomorrow, 6 p.m. Just like I said, you guys know the drill. Stay happy, stay healthy, stay safe. Peace.